Welcome back to Let's Chat. I'm your host, Nikki Luciano. And as always, we have Missy, Mason, and Destiny. I think tonight we're going to talk about our attempted trip to Oconomowoc to their cemetery. Um, Missy says it's too soon to talk about it. Everything was fine. I was in a great mood. I was excited. We were on our way. Now, Missy doesn't drive a hoopty. It's a very nice 2017 Suburban. And everything was going great. We were driving the expressway. We were doing fine. It's a familiar area for us.
I haven't even made my first payment on this truck yet. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Very fresh to me.
And all of a sudden, we felt some like turbulence in the rear. And I kind of, furrowed my eyebrow and in mesmer, I was totally freaked out. Let's just say that. The ass end of the truck hit the ground 3 times. And the next thing I know, the wheel is going past us at like 90 miles an hour, cuts across traffic in our side, goes across the median strip, and just, you could see all the cars in front of this woman across the median, and all the cars next to her.
In front of her, next to her, and behind her, all moved.
They all moved. But not this broad. She
slowed down because she was on her phone.
Yeah.
And then last second, she floored it and tried to move around the tire, and she floored it into the tire.
And then the dumb bitch is halfway into the next lane with the front end of her car, doesn't turn on her flashers, doesn't do anything. She jumps out of the car, starts flailing her arms and screaming, "Oh my fucking God, I can't believe this." And I ran over there to make sure she was okay. I just wanted to see if there was any injuries. And she's like, all she could bitch about was this cheap ass $28,000 fucking car that she's got. And, oh, my car is so much better than yours.
Well,
I'm more worried about that.
I went over there and I was like, "I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" She's like, "I just got this car." I was like, "I just got my truck too. I paid $28,000 for mine."
Yeah.
You don't know how much I paid for mine.
Does she know a used Suburban, even a 2017? What do you think that goes for, Mason?
Well, that one.
Well, a 2017 is like 45.
Yeah.
45,000.
Yeah, 45,000. I'm like thinking to myself, bitch, I've got 2 cars in my driveway that are worth 3 times your piece of shit.
And I don't care if it was a $500 car. I was coming up to see if you're okay.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
be sitting here screaming at me. I didn't rip the tire off my truck and throw it at your car.
Yeah, and she tried her damnedest to make Missy feel guilty. Like, she said, "God, if you're up there, could you please take the wheel off my car and kill somebody?" Dumb bitch.
And we were 2 minutes away from the destination.
Oh, tell them the best part. Tell them the part that she was mainly concerned about in the interior of her car.
Or having a blow in her breathalyzer.
And no, worried that the breathalyzer was damaged.
Yeah.
Well, and then she didn't want to blow into it. She said, "Well, either the car's moving now or it's staying right here because I'm not blowing into it again."
Because she couldn't.
She probably couldn't turn the car back on with it.
Yeah, she probably had somebody. And she had an occupational, which means you're only allowed to drive to work and home.
Because she had 3 DUIs.
Yeah, well, we didn't find that out until we were riding in the tow truck.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, dude was like, "Yeah." And he says, "This isn't her first rodeo." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "This is, I personally towed her 3 times before this. First time, she decided to take her car for a swim. First time, she should have followed through."
It wasn't on that road.
I know, I'm just saying, like, the way he made it sound, like.
And then, the other day, that was her 4th tow. The other one's for DUI, and that's why she's got the breathalyzer on her vehicle. who knows if she was drunk or high. All I know is when I went up there, she was head first into the back seat from the front seat. It was a two-door car. She was ass up, wearing these tiny little booty shorts. I could have given her a gynecology exam right there in the back seat. Feet in the air flying because she's digging for something or stashing something. And then she jumps out screaming at her mom on the phone, cussing her out. Who cusses their mother?
Her mom bought the car.
Yeah, probably.
Well, she said that her mom just bought the car. The car's not even in her name.
Oh.
It has to be for the breathalyzer.
Oh, yeah. Probably put it in her name.
Her mom might be a co-signer or something, but she said
Yeah.
her mom just bought her that car.
Yeah, she might be on it for something because I know the breathalyzer has to be in any vehicle that has their name on it and that she's going to be using.
I think as long as she's using it, I don't think it has to be in your name.
Could be. I don't
So-
know. I've never had to deal with that, so I don't.
I know. I don't either. If, like, when we have our cookouts and stuff, if I even have one glass of Bailey's, I'm not driving.
Tanner and I usually work it out like before we leave the house. Okay, I'm getting drunk tonight. You're driving.
Yeah. Anyway, so that put a big poop bomb on my going to the cemetery in Oconomowoc that night. I was more worried about Missy. She's what? How far along were you at the time of the accident? 23 weeks?
I'm 23 weeks now.
Okay, so almost
23.
23 weeks. And I was worried about that. I was worried about Mason's health problems. I was worried about Destiny because a good wind can blow Destiny over. She's so tiny. And I don't know. I am
Mia was
usually
having panic attacks and
Yeah, Mia was having panic attacks. I'm normally the one that freaks out and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No, this time I was pretty chill.
I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah.
I just pulled over to the side of the road and then as I'm pulling over, I thought it was just in my head, but I guess I said it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I screamed, "What the F was that?" And all of a sudden my tire goes, "Race you there."
I looked
tire
over, I was
excited
like,
to go.
The tire was really excited. to
I
go.
was just in awe of how fast that tire was going. I mean, like,
The tire wanted to get there.
it wanted to race you.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the tire, I was unseatbelted.
Yeah,
Probably a dumb thing to do.
because I wasn't pulled over yet. And then
You
you're
were
like
pulled over.
running down the expressway, like, where'd it go?
No, I got out of the vehicle and I just stood there. I mean, my world was shaking a bit.
A little bit.
Well, the thing that I was most concerned about is
And I saw cars coming at me. I was like, oh, God.
even though the tire was in oncoming traffic,
Well, when she
pileups
hit it-
could happen on both sides.
When she hit it back at us into our traffic.
It
So
went
it
on
could
the
have.
It
median.
was still
It
on
wa-
the right side of the median.
Yeah, it was on the
It
median.
came like into our side of the traffic, so it might have rolled back through.
I don't
I
know,
saw
that
it
tire
from-
had some momentum behind it.
It was excited to go.
That bitch was
When
falling.
she hit it, did you see how far in the air it flew?
I mean, it was kind of cool to see.
No, you're just
But-
really lucky that it didn't. You're both lucky that it didn't go through, up her hood, through the windshield, and kill the bitch right there on the
I mean,
spot.
one way to stop a drunk
Drunk
driver.
driver.
Yeah. Well, we've been tossing it back and forth, going, wow.
Like the cars with that tire.
Yeah.
What?
Playing
Like the
tennis.
car with the tire.
No, but seriously, we've been mulling it over. Was this God's way of getting a very bad person off the road? And, because God does use humans as instruments in his works. And I wondered that, or if it was some kind of a demonic attack, or if it was just something might have happened at the cemetery that God wanted us to stay away from it, I don't know. I can't make heads nor tails of it, so. But we finally made it. Well, I shouldn't say finally. We went back the next day.
Yeah.
And,
We didn't wait too long.
yeah. And besides that, I wanted to get Missy, because everybody was pretty shook up. I wanted to get Missy back in the saddle and, not afraid to drive. I know after my dump truck accident, when my arm got so messed up and stuff, it took me a hot minute to be comfortable driving again.
Well, we went after we left the cemetery that day, and you're like, "Oh, Miss, you want to drive?" I was like, "Sure." I didn't really want to. I couldn't do the speed limit on the expressway.
Well, the
I
only
was doing
reason
like 10 under.
The
whole
only
time.
Yeah, you usually do.
that's the only reason I asked you to drive was because I wanted you to get your bearings back.
I think the next day is Tuesday.
Yeah,
You could
well,
have said no.
Yeah, I know, but I know Mom doesn't like driving at night.
well, you know the old saying: if you fall off a horse, you get right back up on it, right?
Punch it in the forehead.
Felt like I was on it backwards.
But we had such a blast going to these two cemeteries. We went to the Oconomowoc Cemetery. We finally found the statue of the girl that we were looking for, this one particular headstone or monument. It wasn't even a headstone.
Yeah.
Because come to find out, she was buried out in what, Dodge?
Dodge.
In Dodge County, Wisconsin, which is like a 2-hour difference, you know. Whatever. But the rest of her, well, most of her family was at this Oconomowoc Cemetery that we went to. But I was making contact with something that was nearby. I don't think it was actually the girl, but somebody was, interacting with me with the flashlight, with the EMF and the EVP. So something was there. You guys were having better luck. Mason, Destiny, and Mia had better luck. What were you guys, like 4 headstones over talking to somebody else? Because,
Well, they were over by the water.
yeah, well, tell them what was being said to you, why you stopped in that particular area, Mason.
What? Yeah.
It told you
I
guys
don't
to
know
like.
exactly
It was
what
telling you
was.
guys,
You guys to, like walk.
Yeah, it was
walk,
saying
and then
walk, and then we were walking, and then it goes
It
faster.
said faster. So then we.
So we started walking faster, then it said sit.
So they sat down.
yeah, you guys were being very obedient.
Yeah.
There's a ghost.
But this cemetery is the largest cemetery in the state of Wisconsin. And it is so cool because it's got, the headstones down on the ground where they belong, but there's some going up the hills and stuff. And they're really amazing. I want to go back there during the day. We were actually greeted by a deer when we first walked in, and this thing kept checking us out.
It started like walking up to us at first.
Yeah.
And then Destiny and I spotted it, and I was like, "There's a deer." So Destiny and I, being stupid girls we are, we're like, "Oh dear, let's go walk up to it." And it kind of like pranced away a little bit, but it didn't go far. But then it like turned around just to like see what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then we, just went back to finding the monument. And then every time we turned around, like the deer was just watching us.
Yeah, we had a lot of encounters that night. There was a man walking around. We thought it was a man walking around with a flashlight, but when we scoped the place out with our flashlight, there was nobody there. And it's like when we'd stop looking around, then they were shining their flashlight. We also heard footsteps and voices. It sounded like there were people talking in the tomb right next to us. The crypt. I'm sorry. But it's one of those concrete buildings that they have the family buried in. But it really sounded like there was voices right inside of it. And I want to know why the mother wasn't buried in there.
I don't want to be buried with my family.
I don't want to be buried with my family either.
True.
I had to spend enough time on Earth with everybody. I'm getting my own. I'm not even telling anybody.
Yeah. Wayne's getting a Winnie the Pooh cookie jar, and I'm gonna smack his jar every time I get pissed off about what he left me with. Yeah, we had quite a bit of activity there, but we had even more when we left there, and we went to the one on Moreland in New Berlin.
And we saw a fox there. I don't know what.
Yeah,
was about
what was up with the
nature.
nature that day?
But normally, when we're at that second cemetery, we don't see wildlife.
Yeah,
Like you
don't
might
see
have like a
nothing.
bird here or there, or a
frog.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes.
Now, the second cemetery that we went to, I'm just going to call it Moreland Cemetery because it makes it so much easier than the one in New Berlin, the second cemetery. At the Moreland Cemetery, we've been there, what,
A million times.
1,500,000?
But we always get something when we go there.
But we've never encountered two fresh graves in the same sitting, you
Mhm.
know? The first fresh grave that we went to, we found out that the woman's name was Joanne or Joanna. The second one we went to was a reverend. But those veterans, those World War II veterans, they were chatty patties. The second we sat down and I put the equipment on the ground, they were lighting that flashlight up like they were sending signals, you know? It was amazing. I've never had that much action with the flashlights before. And Mia got grabbed her arm.
Pulled her backwards.
Yeah. So then she got between me and Missy and
She, like,
was like
She
cowering.
almost slammed me. I'm pushing her off me. I'm like, Mia, you're hurting me.
Yeah, she was so far up Missy's butt, it was like she was going home.
Yeah. How do your sister?
I don't know
For
what
one.
stood out the most for you, Missy. What do you think was our biggest moments or the most memorable or the things that made you go, the most?
For me, it was the uneasy, like unsettling, unwelcoming feeling I got at the first one.
Okay, explain, please.
I got an uneasy. It was just a feeling like we weren't supposed to be there. Like as soon as we pulled up, and I saw the sign that said like closes at dark, whatever, and the gate was closed. I was like, no, we're not supposed to be here.
Mhm.
Not it.
And there was a guy on a bike.
He disappeared into like nowhere.
Yeah, he disappeared into
But then I thought I
nowhere.
saw him like on the other road, but we never really went and saw if like for sure if that road
It does.
connected.
Well, they go over the bridge.
Yeah.
There's a bridge
right
there
there
that the
that-
Oh.
girl supposedly jumped off of. and-
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like the feeling at the first one.
Yeah.
And the second one, it was another like uneasy feeling, like we were being watched.
Well, what about when you guys went over to the wall crypts?
I didn't go over there.
Oh, you didn't. That's right.
I was with you.
Because I know Mason, Destiny, and Mia came back and they were like, no, I don't want to go back over there. It's all dark and evil and horrible. And
Well, and I just don't like that corner of the cemetery anyways. Like I just get
well, that's
Gross
that's
feeling.
because before they built those wall crypts there, we would go there and there was just something, there was a shed there for the groundskeeper.
yeah.
There is a shed there.
Oh, it's still there? Okay.
There used to be a baseball field there,
Yeah.
and the last
Mhm.
time we saw the baseball field there on the fence that's there
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
by home plate, that area, there was a memorial hung up there for a dead kid.
Yeah.
But it's not even like that area. It's just around, like if you're walking to the wall crypt, so then you'd like hang left where it gets really dark.
Yeah.
I don't like that area.
Well, same with the wooded area in the center of the cemetery, off to the left, the neighbor. That's always been real creepy too.
It's like that whole back wall area. It's
Mhm.
just not for me.
I think the next time I go to a cemetery, I'm going to go during the day just for the purpose of the video that I want to shoot because I want our listeners to see. It's the cemetery out there in McGuanago on the way out to where Missy used to live in those apartments. You go to this, it's just a small cemetery, but if you walk through it all the way, there's a wooded area, and if you go through the woods, there's this big open field, and it just reminds me of how I would imagine that if somebody was buried there, okay, when they're spirit roams around that it goes through and then it walks out into the field. I don't know. It's just really cool. I'm going to have to show you guys. What about you two? Anything in particular that stuck out that night or things that made you go, ooh?
I don't know.
Desi?
Not that I can think of right now, but still creepy.
What did you think of the whole cemetery overall?
Which one?
The first one, Oconomowoc.
Oh, I liked it.
Yeah. I didn't like the lake there though. I just
You don't like water.
yeah, I'm
so-
not a fan. Get this, I'm a Pisces and I don't like water. But I was born on a cusp, so I'm actually an Aries, and I have more Aries characteristics than I do Pisces. But I hate big bodies of water. Even ponds, I don't like them. I think that in like a past life or something, I must have drowned because I just have this deep-seated fear of water, bodies of water. I don't know. I'd like to get some kind of professional, a psychic or something, somebody that reads into that kind of stuff to analyze, prior lives and stuff. I think that would be interesting. Other than that, what's new with you, Missy?
Going to Minnesota tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're going for your family get-together thing. Yeah, it's going to be really boring. It's going to be raining here this weekend, and Missy's going to be gone. So it's like no ghost hunting, no family cookout, no
You
nothing.
guys done keep family cookouts with me before.
In the
In a
rain,
thunderstorm?
in a thunderstorm. I love you too, babe.
I wasn't saying you in particular.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm trying to get hubby here to dig out this one area of grass. It's actually on a hill next to my driveway. I want to build a 36 by 24 party deck, but he's got to dig into, I call it the island. It's the center of my horseshoe shaped driveway. And I want him to dig a 24 by 36 outlet into it and then build a retaining wall and lay patio bricks down and then build like a pavilion above it with electricity so we can have the ceiling fan going in there and still have it open, kind of park-like setting. And so we were out there measuring and everything and trying to get that going and widening the driveway and all kinds of crazy stuff that another Lucille Ball moment where I come up with these stupid ass projects and get everybody involved and they're all frustrated. And I'm sure he'd rather, when he's home from work, he works all day long, comes home and he's got to deal with my projects. So, but we've been together for like almost 42 years. So if he didn't like it, I'm sure he would have left by now. The kitten isn't growing very big. Poet, she's still a tiny little butt. Haley was telling me, because she got kittens right before I did, like a week before I did. And they were the same size, but they've doubled in size. Mine isn't really growing yet.
Moshi took a while to start growing.
Yeah.
But when she did, she grew.
Well, Dad was saying today, he's like, oh, you don't want her to grow real big. Speak for yourself. I want a big, big black cat, And he's like, oh, no, just a little one. He's just trying to think of the food factor and what you got to feed the thing,
Moshi ate. She didn't eat much.
Well, this one eats like she's in a contest,
Yeah.
cat food eating contest. She acts like she's never eaten in her life.
Yeah, she was never like a food. Unless I left a beef stick laying on like the table, then she would jump up and eat it through the wrapper.
Or any bread products.
Bread products, she liked to chomp on those.
Well, so did Spirit and Storm when we first brought them home. Remember, we were having a cookout that weekend, and we had the bags, the grocery bags on the landing here when you first walk in the door. They tore apart those frickin' hamburger buns like.
Yeah, she would literally jump into the grocery bags.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't eat the bread; she'd just chew on it.
Oh, wow.
Same with like the Nerf darts.
Oh, because they're squishy.
Yeah, if we would have a Nerf war, she'd come running down the stairs. She'd snatch a dart before you even knew what happened. She's upstairs, and it's shredded all over the upstairs hallway. She didn't eat any of it. She just tore it apart.
When I first got the kitten, I had it in my heart that I wanted a cuddly kitten. Okay. I guess I should have paid more attention to where she came from. She was a stray on the street, you know. Well, her mom was a stray that gave birth to her, and she was found outside up in a tree. So instantly your brain should go, wildcat. Mine went, kitty, come here, you know, and I took her home.
We all have our Bunny Gale moments.
Yeah. Does somebody need a hug? But I bought her the climbing tower. What are they called? Those cat towers?
Cat trees.
Or cat tree or whatever you want to call it. And it's got multiple levels on it. Well, as soon as you walk into my bedroom, because yes, I still keep her in my bedroom until she gets some meat on her bones and can handle herself. Of course, after I experienced what I experienced the other day, I think she can handle her own. I walk in the door. She's up in the bed in the top of the tower. And she sees me and she gives me this cute little meow like, oh, my mommy. And I go over by her and she just jumps on me, you know, out of nowhere. And she scratched me pretty good. So I gave her a good swat, you know. Mental note to self, when I open my bedroom door, I'm going to peek over and see if she's in the top. If she's in the top, I'm not going near her, you know. But I have to remind myself that she was a wild cat. It's not like some tame little house cat.
Oh, no. Remember Mushi with her cube thing that she had?
Kitty City?
Yeah, the Kitty City cube. So I bought this little cube thing, and it's just like this nylon material wire pop-up cube. And
like a pop-up tent.
Yeah, but it's just a little one for a cat. It's just a square. And we were sitting there, and I popped it up for Mushi, and I threw some treats and some toys in there to lure her in there. She got in there, and Destiny sat too close to it, and all of a sudden this Freddy Krueger hand comes out and just ripped on Desi. She screamed. So then we made like a game of it, like, okay, let's see who can like put their hand by the cube and not get tore up. No one survived that game. Mushi won every time.
Everyone was a loser that day.
Yeah, well, then I forget about Little Kitty City.
Yeah.
Mushi didn't. And I get up in the middle of the night and I go into the kitchen to grab a soda. And it's right there on like the corner where the kitchen was. And all of a sudden my ankle was just being tore up. And I have no idea what's going on because it's dark. And I'm just like, ah.
Well, do you remember when Dad and Vinny rescued those kittens out of the window on a job?
Uh-huh.
And they brought these two little kittens home. Well, one of them, Angel, she passed away. It was Miracle. Yeah, she passed away in my arms on Mother's Day, had me bawling like a baby. She aspirated on her formula because she was on a baby bottle, because when he brought them home, they were only like 3 weeks old, most.
Yeah.
And Monster survived, but he only lived to be like 3 years old because he developed crystals in his kidneys. And that was, Vinny swears it was from Monster being neutered.
It's from the cat food and the cat litter.
Yeah. Junk cat food and junk cat litter. But
and boys are more prone to the crystals.
Yeah, I don't know why Haley agreed to bringing home 2 male kittens. She's going to have nothing but problems. marking territory and crystals in the kidneys and oh Jesus, I do not envy her at all. That's why from now on, every animal I get is going to be a female. Boys basically suck, except Mason.
I just don't like boy animals because who wants to see their little giblets dangling?
Yeah, I know.
And then they all roll on their back, and I don't want to see that. Put underwear on.
Well, the only
Don't
reason
mention
God created male anything, well, he wanted male and female, but females have their stuff all neatly tucked away, where boys, God figures they're not going to put it away anyway, just leave it hang out. But, yeah. Goliath is my last male German Shepherd. I cannot handle boy dogs or cats or anything anymore. How's your pup doing?
Good, still brain dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to play.
Well, Radar never played either. Radar was my
She needs to put
last
enough
German
energy,
Shepherd.
though.
You know, they do what comes natural to them. If they need it, they're gonna do it.
She's nice and calm outside,
Hmm.
but then she comes in the house and she does zoomies across my living room, through my couch, and
I'm home. She's happy that you gave her a home, and that's her safe spot. That's her den. Dogs have dens.
should I show you what she did to my foot? Her toenails need to be trimmed.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Goliath looks like a German drag queen.
Yeah.
He's got to get in and get his cut too.
It just frustrates me because, like, for me, dogs, you run around outside, burn off your energy, you come in the house, you need to be nice and calm with the kids.
Someone's never had a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Well, I'm trying to train her to do it. She's good for the most part. She has her moments where she's like, no, forget you. I want to run and I want to sniff everything and I want to see what all these toys are that the kids are always playing with. And
Do you remember
She's
when I
just a
had
puppy.
Radar? I'd take him for a walk, and it was like he's on his leash, he's going for a walk, he's on duty, and then when he knew the route, even when I'd try to change up the route, he knew as soon as we were like 100 yards away from home, he'd just start pulling me and come on, I want to get home, I want to get home. He'd get in the house and he'd run around and be an idiot.
yeah, that's why Luna is like, she's fine when we're walking away from the house.
Mm-hmm.
Once we turn around and we start walking towards the house, she's got to be the lead. She's pulling and
Well, imagine how she feels. It's kind of like when we go to our cemeteries. Nobody wants to be the front person and nobody
Mhm.
wants to be the back person. You kind of want to link arms and do the we're off to see the wizard thing, you know? They're scared. Where are you taking me? What are we
Yeah.
doing? You know?
yeah.
What was I going to say now? No, I forgot. Total brain fart. Crickets. Yeah, she'll get used to it, and
Yeah.
and believe me, she will run and romp outside.
I mean, she
eventually.
was, I don't want to say neglected because that sounds bad, but
Well,
she was
in a
put on,
sense.
she was put on, no, I mean, like with me, like a
Oh.
week ago,
Oh,
she was put on the back burner for a little bit when Lyric was sick.
yeah.
Because, I mean, you have a 17-month-old baby with a fever of 103.7. I mean, that's got to take
Top priority.
priority over, like, going outside and playing with your dog.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but once Lyric got better, then it was, back to the same schedule and doing things. So, I mean, she's trying to figure out what schedule we're on now.
Yeah. They all adjust. Like I said, Dad made the mistake of getting my dogs on his schedule because he'd get up at 5 or 6 in the morning. He'd let Goliath out, tell Tony to take the pups out. And,
Yeah.
so when he's on his days off, what does he do? He sits and bitches. Damn dog got me up at 5 o'clock this morning. Well, don't put my dog on your stupid schedule, you know?
Her and I had to talk on the ride home. I'm not a morning person. I have to take care of the kids in the morning.
Yeah.
You can hold it. So,
Yeah,
and she came from a house where she was free fed, and then they wondered why they couldn't get her potty trained. Well, you can't give a puppy food and water 24/7 and expect it not to go in the house when you're gone at work 14 hours a day.
Radar was never on a schedule. He was on a, well, she'll get to me when she's got time because he knew that I had 8 kids to raise and stuff like that. So if I didn't get him out until noon, that's on you, Bugaboo, you know?
Yeah, I shouldn't say she's on a schedule. She holds it till she's able to go out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had her since the day before Father's Day, and she hasn't had an accident. So.
And I know there's people out there going, oh, then she shouldn't have a dog if she doesn't want to get up in the morning. You know what? Mind your business.
Yeah.
And yeah, I am putting my business out there, but my dogs are well taken care of. They are fed. They always have food. They always have water. They have shelter. They have a beautiful home. And they're never outside unattended or anything like that. I've got kennel runs, right? You open the patio door and the dogs walk out into a kennel run. And it's a huge one. And when they are out front, they're tied up or on a leash with me. So I don't have no dog at large bullshit coming at me, you know? And they're spoiled. They've got more toys than my kids had.
Yeah. Like I've got a fenced in backyard and I'm trying to get Luna accustomed to going outside by herself.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes she just pees right there on the back step right by the door because she's too afraid to like walk away from the door. But she's getting more comfortable. But I'll leave her out there for, you know, like a good half hour sometimes, just so she can, you know, start getting some confidence and going out there by herself. But I still check on her like every 5 minutes just to make sure somebody didn't take her, she didn't jump the fence, anything like that.
Is there some way that you can, you know, off the fence or something like that, have hanging rope toys?
That's what I'm going to do is we
like
have
that?
PVC pipe at home.
Yeah, build frames.
So I'm going to be building frames and having these toys that hang down, and she's going to have like an obstacle course type setup back there.
Well, just like a playground for her, you know.
Yeah, where it's going to have that A-frame
like,
ramp thing, and she's going to have the tunnels to go through.
Yeah.
Because I have some of those from the kids.
Yeah, but a lot of hanging ropes and the tire toys and stuff like that, because then she'll be like, yeah, I'm going outside to play, you know, just like toddlers.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, I have some toys that they're kind of like treat dispensers, kind of like the Kong things.
Yeah.
And she really likes it when I put treats inside of those because it really gets her brain going. And then there's this other thing called a busy mat.
Oh, yeah.
So you take like those tie blanket materials and you make a bunch of knots and then you hide the treats in there and the dog. So having the dog sniff around on one of those busy mats for, I think it was like 10 minutes is like taking them for a half-hour walk.
Well,
like that's how stimulating it is for their brain and everything to keep them going.
Destiny has this, it's made out of hard plastic and it's a square the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah, I bought that for her.
Yeah, and it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
They've got to open this, figure out how to open 4 different things.
Yeah, they have to like
get
lift
their
one
treats.
and turn one and
yeah,
like,
and her dogs whip through it like nothing. You know?
I know, especially Thea. Like she caught onto that so fast. I thought she was gonna. I mean, not to sound bad, but I thought it was gonna take her a little bit longer. But I guess you put food in front of her and she's gonna figure it out.
But they're always coming up with new inventions for dogs and things to keep their brains busy.
Yeah, they have this ball now that the dog has to like hit it in a certain way and then a treat will come out.
Oh, really?
And they sell it right at Pet Supplies Plus. And I think I'm gonna go get it when we get back from Minnesota. But they have a couple different puzzle things and things like that right there. And I was like, well, might as well, you know, she likes doing that kind of stuff because like when she's in her kennel, she'll have her blanket and she like sits there and she has to like perfectly lay out her blanket just so and then lay on it. Well, then I get her mad and I'll go in there and I'll put like treats under her blanket and I put them on top and then she's like freaking out in her kennel. She's like trying to get all these treats off her blanket. And she just wants the food. Yeah, she's excited. She just wants, it's just a little game we play. And
But then you're going to buy her a dog bed or something. You're going to wonder why she rips it off, rips holes in it and stuff looking for treats.
All right. I mean, well, it started because she was chewing on her blanket.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, if you want to play with your blanket, here. Now, here's some treats. Now, when you move your blanket.
I got to
So-
find something for the kitten because she's bored. I made the mistake. It started off with my cell phone. I went on YouTube and I looked up games for kittens.
Mhm.
And the first one was like a fish tank scene, and it had all these little fish. And I got a kick out of it because she's like pawing at it and jumping at it and trying to bite my phone.
Yeah.
Well, then it went to the mouse one where you chase the mouse around, and there's like 3 mice that run back and forth
Oh,
and
she loved that one.
interactive stuff that gets their
My-
brains working.
Wish she'd flip my phone because she thought the mouse ran under the phone.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, I want something bigger for her, So I brought in my iPad and I set that on the floor and I let her go to town. Well, it sucks that they're interactive, that she can actually change the screen.
Yeah.
You know how like you hand a toddler a cell phone and next thing you know, oh, my game disappeared,
Yeah. Well, what about those baby projector things? So they have like
You want my
these-
cat on the ceiling?
No, just tip it so it's like onto the wall or something. Or
Oh, yeah,
under a
then I
cat-
can have shredded drywall.
I mean, pick your poison. You gonna keep your cat entertained or no?
Well,
Point
maybe
it at,
I'll
like,
hang
the-
it from a shelf so it's on the floor so
Yeah,
she's
or aim
chasing
it at like the
around.
cat tower thing, so she runs up and down on that thing.
I'm worried about because at first I was like, oh, maybe I should get her like not exactly a laser pointer because those are dangerous for human eyes, cat eyes, dog eyes.
Oh, my cats love toys.
I know they love them, but they're really bad for them.
Just don't shine them in your eyeballs.
Okay, so the cat's running around playing with this thing, and it turns its head and looks at it. And
Well, you just keep it on the floor and and they don't look
no,
up at you.
I don't mean where I got to do something. I'm busy, girl.
Oh, they have better. I had this for Mushi and I had it for Maleficent and Aurora. It's a battery operated ball.
I got
And
2 of
then
them
it's
up in
got
my room. It's
the-
got a whip antenna and it's got
Yeah.
feathers or different things that you can put on
Mhm.
it. Yeah, I got 2 of those in there. I even remember the old school Bumble Balls?
Yeah.
Well, now they've got them where they light up all different colors. Well, this one, I didn't know. I bought it on Amazon, sight unseen, It's a brand new thing and it was only $3. But the thing makes these giggly monster noises and it chases her around the room and she's under the bed hiding and she's
Yeah.
like, the devil's in here, so I got to turn it off. And it only lasts 5 minutes and it shuts off.
Oh, is they have like the battery operated like mouse? They turn it on and the mouse
let Dad walk in the room and see a mouse going across the room. He'd bring out his gun, he'd be blasting this thing.
Well, you want ideas for entertaining your cat? I'm giving you ideas. Sounds like your cat's just gonna be bored.
Yeah, and
Or get her that round thing with the ball. and the
yeah,
scratch
then
pad in the
Dad's just
middle.
gotta take the ball out at
I
night
just
before he
take-
goes to bed.
That's what I do. Is I just took the ball out. Bedtime, nope, you get no toys.
Yeah,
Because even with Maleficent and Aurora, they'd get spunky for a little bit when it was bedtime. Like they'd made sure the kids lay down. Once the kids were asleep, then they're like, okay, now I can play with my toys. No. So I walked around, I picked up all the cat toys, put them in the basket, and they knew, like, okay, toys are picked up, it's done. So then they went to bed. So
See, Poet meows at Dad. She knows that right around 10 o'clock, this is it. Come on, old man, get your butt in bed,
Mhm.
And as soon she will not stop meowing until he's laying down.
yep.
She'll wait maybe 5 minutes, and she's laying right down next to him, cuddling into him and suffocating him.
Yeah. That's the way Maleficent and Aurora were. Once it got to a certain time, if the kids were still up playing,
Mhm.
they would like herd around the kids' feet
Yeah.
and like trip them up. And they're like, well, why is the cat tripping me? The cat's tripping me. They're telling you it's time for bed.
Mhm.
And then the kids would lay down, they go to bed. Maleficent had to sleep, like cuddled up by your shoulders. Aurora was more of the skittish one, so she laid across Maverick's feet.
Yeah.
But then they would lay there until the kids went to bed. And then they'd get up and they'd do, they'd eat a little bit, they'd walk around, explore, do whatever. And then they'd come right back. They had their people they laid with.
Yeah. Getting back to the cemetery stuff, I think my next trip that I want to go to, I forgot the name of it. It's called Witches Triangle. It's 3 different locations where witches are buried
Oh, yeah.
in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
One of them is closed to the public. They said no visitors.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
you can't go in there, but you can still go to it.
And then there's the Witches Circle, and I'd like to check that out too.
Mm.
So I think that's going to be the next trip. I don't remember if that's the one that's in Madison.
We're gonna have to go back and look.
Yeah. Um, but I think that's going to be the next one because I just have a feeling that we're going to get a lot of activity there.
Yeah.
So did anybody follow you home?
Yeah, that freaking cat.
Okay, tell them about it.
So we were laying there that night, and we decided to camp out in the living room because Mia was too afraid to sleep in her room. And I don't think Tanner would have been too comfortable with Mia laying in bed with us. So we camped out in the living room. And Mia was sleeping in the recliner, and I was laying on the couch. And I'm just getting ready to go to bed. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw a cat walk past Luna's kennel. And I have LED light strips around my TV. And those were on. And my TV was on. So it wasn't dark in there. And I was watching Friends, so it wasn't like a shadow from anything. And it walked past my TV stand, past the dog's kennel, and then it just, as quick as I saw it, it vanished. Like literally you saw it like dissipate from the head to the tail. And by the time my brain registered what was going on and I actually looked at it, like the cat's head was gone. But then you could see the rest of it just kind of,
Like it walked
smoke.
into a portal.
Well, it was kind of like smoke. It just kind of it's hard to describe.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel crazy saying it out loud, but this is what I saw. And it was the part of the cat that I saw was white.
Okay.
So it was a white, picture Mushy, but all white.
Yeah.
And it was that big, that everything. Kind of like Maya.
Yeah, I've been hearing footsteps on the stairs, both sets of stairs because I live in a bi-level. So we've got, when you first walk in the front door, you can go down 7 steps into the family room, the laundry room, the bathroom, and Mason's room. Or you go upstairs 7 stairs into the kitchen, dining room, living room, 2 bedrooms, and a bathroom, and a long hallway. So I heard all 14 stairs, and I'm a stair counter. I have been since I was a little kid, and it's a good thing because when I went blind for that while, completely blind, I knew my way around. It was like my brain knew something was going to happen someday. So I've always been a stair counter. And how many steps is it from the couch to the bathroom? From the couch to the kitchen, whatever,
Yeah.
or the kitchen to the bedroom or anything like that. It's just
I just
my
have to
DNA.
count steps just because I'm clumsy. Like you just saw it, I just fell up the stairs.
Yep.
Fell up the stairs.
But so I heard 14 steps coming towards me, and I'm looking. It's a railing there that I can see clearly if somebody's on the stairs, and I didn't see it. So I look at the monitor, the security monitor, and there's nobody on the stairs at all. So I turned on my flashlights last night and my EMF meters, and I had a little session here in the house, and I started asking questions. Well, it started flashing the second I turned it on, like, hello. So I changed the batteries and brand new batteries in it, and it starts again. And I asked it to turn off, so it turned off the way I always do. And then I started asking it questions. I said, is there somebody here with us? If you're here, could you please light the flashlight up bright? So it lit it up right away. I said, turn it off, please. Turned it off instantly. To make a long story short, I know it's too late. Basically what they answered questions to and I got out of it was there's 5 women here with us. And that they're here to protect us. I asked if there was anything malevolent in this house, and it said yes. And I said more than one. It said yes. I said more than two. It said yes. I said, is it three? Yes. I said, is there more than three? And it didn't light up. So there's three malevolent spirits or beings or entities here, whatever you want to call them. Three bad and five that are trying to protect me from what's here.
Yeah.
Now this is Wisconsin, and we've got some really old land here. This has been a subdivision for decades. I mean, I've been here for 17 years, and the house is 54 years old. And before it was that, it was a farm. Before it was that, I guess there were like Scottish people that had some kind of a farm thing here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very old land. And we have a lot of Indian areas around here, old reservations and stuff like that. So who knows? Who knows whatever transpired on this land? And I've tried doing cleansings and stuff like that, but I don't know. I can't shake it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not the land that's haunted, it's the family.
Yeah.
Our family, no matter where we go, no matter where.
We can go to hotels and get activity.
Yeah, we do. Not that kind of activity, but
no.
Spirit activity. But, and I can't really say I'm haunted. It's just that our whole family, we pick up on things, whether it be seeing things or hearing things or smelling things, that just it trips a trigger in our head and lets us know that somebody's here.
Yep.
But do we have anybody writing any comments? No. Yeah, it's been a long week, so people are probably really tired this week.
Mm-hmm.
I know I am. I don't know what's going on, if it's this buck moon that we've got going on right now. And this buck moon has been a really magical moon for me. I sat there for like an hour last night just in awe of the moon.
I was so tired I didn't go look at it.
I have this
Exhausted.
bizarre relationship with the moon. I'm madly in love with full moons, and even 3/4 moons. I think they're beautiful.
I was up until like 2:00 in the morning doing homework on time management. I'm not the person to be doing homework on time management. I am horrible at it.
You take after your father.
I just take the day as it comes. We just fly by the seat of our pants.
Did you get your homework done?
Nope. Sure didn't. I've got so much to do.
Yeah.
I got my discussion and my reply done, but now I need to log 2 days of activities, and then write a 300-word thing for each day about like what time management techniques I use, which ones were good, which ones were bad, which ones I want to work on. I'm going to be pulling a lot of BS out of my butt.
300 words is not a lot.
It is when you have no concept of time management.
When I had to do the entrance exam thing, where you have to write the letter,
yeah,
it had to be a 500-word letter, and I got it done in like less than 20 minutes.
Once I actually get started on it and stop being so intimidated by, and that's my problem, is I'll look ahead and see what I all need to do, instead of just like, okay, assignment 1, click, let's just do it.
One thing I get from Mom is I'm wordy.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where my professors would tell me, like, okay, before you submit this, take 2 pages out of your essay.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
See,
you have to go condense everything.
And I don't know why I signed up for, I know why I signed up for online classes. I'm not a writing type person. I'm a talk.
You still have to
in
do
person.
College nowadays, you're writing a lot.
Yeah.
I have done in person, I've done online.
But I think
unless you're going to school to be a radio broadcaster, you're not going to be able to do wordy.
But I think I
retain
more. having an actual person there. Because me reading it on my own, I catch myself skimming.
Yep.
And you can't skim. You actually have to read and
It
comprehend
depends on if you have a good
everything.
instructor. I've had instructors where I could not wait till they stopped talking.
Yeah.
Nothing they said stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's like when I was going to school for medical assistant. I mean, I thought I was going to have to take some of those no-dose pills because this lady, I swear to God, she made me want to slit my throat.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Nobody can talk in that monotone voice, just talking like this without raising her voice or lowering her voice, and just kept talking. Okay, my brain is numb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I couldn't wait until break time, and I'd run out that door. I
Yeah.
was like,
I mean, I guess there's pros and cons to all of
Everything.
it. I just have to just stop being so intimidated by the assignment and just do it. Like, okay, 300 words. Okay, let's do this. You know. And after I just had to write like 400 words just for my discussions and my posts right before that, I'm out of words.
Yeah.
I'm
And
out of words.
You guys have it easy in your communications class. In mine, I had to do a 10-page paper, 10-page research paper. And it was the same, the 7-week courses.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm only on week 3.
Yeah.
Haley's like, oh, we're like halfway done. I said, you got a turd in your pocket? I'm only on week 3.
I actually meant with like your section of the semester.
I think she meant I think she forgot that we weren't at the same place in school.
yeah.
That I'm a couple weeks behind her.
She wouldn't
don't-
even be halfway done anyways.
She said she's like halfway done. She's like, I think we're halfway done.
I'll crash her party tomorrow when
Yeah.
I see her.
And I'm like, Haley, I'm only on week 3. She's like, yeah, but it's almost over. Don't remind me. I haven't done the stuff I need to get done for week 3 yet. I need a couple more days in week 3.
You and your sister take after your dad, and you procrastinate. What day does the assignment week
Sunday.
start? Okay, so Sunday.
I mean, I already have
and
my
do
schedule
one
of
of the
what I want to
assignments.
do, but it's actually like reality that it's not.
See, I'm the type of person, if I had
Mhm.
assignments, I was like, fuck, I got to get this shit done now because I know something's
She
going to
might
come
have
up.
been
with-
like that, but now she's one of the biggest procrastinators I know.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, that's because
Yeah.
I take on too much at one
You're
time.
telling me.
I'm going to smack the curl right out your hair.
Please.
Well, then like with all the doctor's appointments, and then they're getting over being sick, and then the puppy, and this and that and the other thing, and then getting ready for Minnesota. I'm like, I don't have.
You're
I didn't
taking
have
on
enough
too
days.
many things too.
I don't have enough days. And I think my doctor's appointments went from, okay, you only have to see a specialist every 2 weeks. Well, we need you to come back at least every week now, for right now. And then it's going to be like every 2 days, and it.
And there's certain family members that shall remain nameless that wouldn't have to take anxiety meds if she would stop taking on so damn much bullshit in her life. You know, I mean, you're not a pack mule. You can't keep letting people burden you and throwing shit on your back and, oh, I don't feel like doing this anymore, so you do it. I don't feel like taking that person there or doing this or doing that, and they put it on you. Girl, I know you're going to listen to this, and I'm going to kick you in the ass if you don't start stepping up and telling people no. Tell them to take care of their own shit. If you're old enough to have a job, if your teenagers are old enough to have a job, they're old enough to save some of their money, get their driver's license, and take. Oh, really? Why?
Her mom said.
Oh, well, that's on you, boo. You know, if you made a rule that your kid can't, get their driver's license till they're 18, then I guess you might as well put the sign on top of your car that says taxi. But stop taking on other people's damn kids. Stop taking on everybody else's problems. Life is too short. How old are you now? She's 36.
Mhm.
Time to start living your life. Your kids are grown. You know? When are you going to start doing things that make you happy?
Eating.
Huh?
Eating makes me happy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, eating makes me happy too, but then when I go to put on my jeans, I'm not happy anymore.
To be honest, I haven't been hungry for like a week.
Well, that's because of
Not
your
talking about clothes not fitting.
medications.
I had to wear Tanner's clothes to bed last night.
You're pregnant.
You've been
Yeah.
pregnant every day since you were 21. Please shut up.
23.
Oh, my bad. Leap year.
Yeah, 23. Oh, 24.
But yeah, I mean, that takes us back to motivation. What was the other one? Inspiration and motivation. She obviously did not listen to that podcast because
Well, she did, but where's that high school diploma, ma'am?
true that. And
Yeah, we're
another
calling you
thing,
out. We're calling you out right now.
another
You're here to
thing,
defend yourself,
No,
so.
you're
do you
being
know
called out.
what the most important job of being a good leader is? Delegating. Amen. Give me that high five. You need to
Say
delegate.
having a good strong whip, but
That too, baby. No, you have to delegate.
I knew you were
Nobody,
gonna go there too. So I had to say it.
none of us are superheroes. We can't keep taking
My cape is
on.
at the dry cleaner.
We can't keep taking. Oh, I look good in a cape.
Got food on mine.
You got cat food on you?
No, I got food.
Oh,
Just
I was
regular
like,
food.
She's Catwoman.
I want to be Catwoman. No, okay, I'll be Wonder Woman. I've got the boobs
I'm
for it.
Captain Underpants.
Okay, Captain Underpants.
I got the-
I'm Captain No Pants because they don't fit me no more.
She's Captain Sweatpants.
Fucking sweatpants.
Captain Frago.
Captain Leggings. Captain Strip.
No, you seriously. You know who you are. You know who I'm talking to. None of us are superheroes. We have to.
We're not Johnny Depp's lawyers no more.
Your kids
So
are
we
old
have to
enough.
do something else.
Your kids are old enough to have chores, and if they don't like it, tell them to move the fuck out.
Yeah, them.
They got dads that they can go live with. Well, one of them does. The other one's living with you.
Yeah.
But start cracking the whip. You know, maybe you need to. I remember one time my mom thought I was off my fucking tree. One of my kids was a toddler, just having a mental breakdown, just freaking the F out, throwing a tantrum on the floor.
Yeah, right now is one of the 4 older ones.
Yeah, she's kind of sitting here with us right now. But
I still do it, so I mean, whatever.
I just had it, you know, I had it. So I dropped to the floor, started stomping my feet and thrashing around and screaming and yelling and having a complete meltdown. She stopped what she was doing and just to watch me. And I was
I
like,
do
yeah,
that.
that's how dumb you look.
I do that with Lyric right now. Because she's got a temper on her. And she came up to me and she slapped me because she wanted to climb up on the stairs. And I said, no.
Yeah.
Well, and she slapped my leg because I was doing Delilah's hair.
Yeah.
So I slapped her hand. Well, then she threw herself backwards and just, ah! So then I was like, my turn.
Yeah.
And she's still screaming. I said, no, stop. My turn. And she just looks at me and I started screaming and wailing and throwing toys. And she just looked at me. I said, okay, now it's your turn. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Then she let out okay, that's it. My turn. And I'm throwing things and stomping my feet and throwing myself backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just looked at Delilah like I'd completely lost my mind, and she just walked away slowly while looking at me out of the corner of her eye. Like,
Wouldn't you?
I mean, it worked. She stopped.
It worked on you
She
too.
stopped.
It worked on you. And the next time you lost your mind and started up, that you were like just in like mid whine, and I went over you. I was louder than you, and I started, and you just jumped back like, oh shit, here she goes again.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, all day today. Every time Lyric would do something, my turn.
Yeah.
One point, she went and hid behind the recliner. She's like, nope, I don't want this. I want no part of this. I'm just going to hide back here till you're done. I'm like, okay, well, if you're done, I'm done.
And the same thing goes for your husbands, okay? Like I remember Dad and I had been married for going on 42 years now. And I remember quite a few arguments and, very loud arguments where I lost my shit. See, I'm hot tempered, all right? I get pissed, the whole house is going to know I'm pissed. Dad used to be real meek and mild and wouldn't fight back. So that made me even angrier, And he used to think before all my kids started coming along that he could just come home from work, sit down, watch TV, and not partake in family life. So I used to say, okay, today I'm Wayne and you can be Nikki. And he's like, oh, I'm going to have a fit. He's mocking me and doing all this stuff. And, you were a baby at the time. So I was like, your kid's in there crying. You want to change her diaper, and you want to feed her? When's dinner going to be ready? What did you do all day? And I just role reversed him. And I did it enough that it finally sank in. And he started being a better husband. He started being a better dad. When he came home from work, he knew if you sat your butt on that couch, it was going to start.
I've threatened Tanner many times I was going to light the recliner on fire with him in it.
Oh, you got that from me.
He doesn't think I'll do that. I've thrown away furniture for less. Don't test me. I'm pregnant again. I was pregnant with Delilah, and he came home from work one day, and I said, that couch, get it out of here now, or I'm lighting it on fire.
Yeah.
I've never seen a man pick up a couch before so fast in his life. He carried it out to the dumpster.
But anyways, I think I'm going to take well, except for the weekends. The weekends I can't do projects. I have to utilize the summer for what it is here in Wisconsin. And I want to save the weekends for our taking it on the road for Supernatural Sundays. But during the week, I think I got to get back to my projects because I still have wood that I've got to, like the door frames on a few rooms and stuff like that. And I just thank God I don't have to redo these railings. I will burn them down before I will do them again. They sucked so bad.
If you ever talk about redoing them again, I'm burning them down.
Thank you. My ideal railings would be those glass paneled ones on the steel frames, where it's just like a black steel frame and then it's got big, like 3x5 panels of glass. Oh, I love those, girl. I think they look so nice.
I see dog nose prints and kids' fingers smudges.
That's what they came up with Windex for.
You want to do that every 3 seconds? You've seen Goliath up there with your plexiglass?
My dog is the window licker of dogs. He's a German Shepherd, and everybody's like, oh my God, I'm scared to come in your house. He would the only way he'd harm you is if you drowned in his drool. He slobbers like a Saint Bernard, that's the name. I was like, trying to think of a dog name. Yeah, he puts Saint Bernards to shame. Poor Milo. Destiny's cat is an orange tabby. He's a fat boy. Sweetest, most cuddly thing in the world. Ever since he came into this house, he has tried to cuddle with Goliath. Goliath is laying on his, sofa-sized bed, just lounging around. In comes Milo the cat and wants to cuddle with Goliath. Goliath jumps up like there's a mouse in the house and goes running like, oh my God, that thing tried to cuddle with me.
Cartoon characters where the girl hikes up her skirt and screams and runs away.
Oh yeah.
That's what he does when Milo tries to cuddle.
Yep. So today, Slobber and Goliath is standing in the kitchen. I had to put his water dish on a bath towel because this thing drools so bad. So he's drinking away, lapping in the bowl. Milo comes up underneath him to say hi, to see what you're drinking. and Goliath turns, and this flood of water. It would be like if I poured a bucket of water over your head.
So my Milo almost drowned today.
Yes, Milo almost drowned. I got to get him a kitty life jacket because, or that, or he's just got to learn, stay away from the wet mouth dog, you know? At least it's not as bad as Arlene, the bloodhound I used to have. Oh my God, that dog drooled so bad, and it was like rope drool. She'd shake her head, and we had these big, like, you know, you ever see those icicles hanging down in the caves, you know? That's
These
what I
those were on the
had.
ceiling. Like Goliath just slobbered your whole floor, and you step down and you go sliding into the oven. And now
Oh, I
you're-
got so pissed yesterday. I woke up and I went to, first thing you do when you're 59, you gotta pee, you know? So I get up, I go walking through the hallway. I right before I hit the hallway in the kitchen, I hit a puddle, went ski-dooing through this bitch. I'm on my frickin' back on the floor going, God damn it, you know?
Mhm.
Oh, I was so mad.
See, and one of my top 5 pet peeves is wet socks.
Oh yeah, mine too. As soon as your feet get wet in socks, you're mad.
Day is
Instantly.
done. Day is ruined.
Yeah. And then you gotta drop to your ass on the floor and whip these wet socks off and dry your feet off with what's left of the
And I
sock.
don't like being barefoot with no socks on.
Oh, see, I must have some kind of Indian in my blood somewhere down the line.
I don't like it in the house
I'll-
because it's just the dog hair and the crumbs, and
Yeah.
I don't like things touching my feet.
The only time I'm barefoot is in the shower or when I'm laying in my bed.
I was coming down the driveway today after moving my car. I had to move the cars so that Tony could mow the lawn. So I went to the Jeep barefoot. Oh, first the Charger, moved the Charger, get in the Jeep. I moved that, and I come walking down the driveway barefoot, and Dad's like, careful, careful, there's stones on the driveway. Do you know what I step
See,
on?
that
That doesn't
doesn't-
bother me.
Yeah, like the stones and stuff don't bother me. I don't like things touching my bare feet.
Oh.
That is.
As
I like
long as it's
stones.
not like
Yeah.
a spider or something creepy or, you know,
I'm particular.
fecal matter from an animal or urine from anything, I'm good.
I'm.
I don't mind sand on my feet. I don't.
Sand and chalk can all just rot.
No, I don't care.
I'm that only fool outside coloring with chalk with my kids, but I have to have hospital grade medical gloves on because the chalk cannot touch my hands.
I will not walk on the grass barefoot.
It depends on what grass. My grass is sharp.
And when I wear shoes, the only kind of shoes I wear, you don't see me prancing around in high heels. I know that, you know, me and the floor are not friends. I wear my moccasins because it's the closest to being barefoot that I can be. There's something about me that I just have to feel the earth under my feet. Same with when we went to
She doesn't want to be buried.
went to find my ancestors and stuff. Well, your ancestors too. I needed to feel the land that they walked on. I needed to walk in the
My
same
God, give me
places.
hands.
Mm,
And
it's
hand
not the
wipes.
same. It's not the same.
I'm OCD about my socks. Do you ever go to the store and you're like feeling the socks and you're like, oh God, this is like the perfect pack of socks?
Yeah.
You bring them home, you put them on, and you literally dry heave and you have to rip them off.
Why?
There's certain socks that
She's
cannot just touch my
special
feet.
needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound special needs.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's.
I
hate
love
it.
a nice thick pair of socks, but in the summertime they got to be thin, but not real thin. See, that would freak me out. Those socks would freak me out.
I also don't like the arch supports.
Oh, I hate
They
arch
hurt my
supports.
feet.
I hate them.
Or
But-
because you bought child socks.
These are women's.
Well, then shrink your toes.
I can't. They're fingers.
They're disgusting. They're stretched so tight that your socks are see-through.
That's
And
just
trim your toenails.
they're trimmed.
Yeah, they're not horrible. Anyways,
Maybe
let's get back.
paint them,
Let's
too.
not talk feet. This
Yeah, right.
isn't one of those sites.
Yeah, we charge for that.
Right?
We charge for that.
Did you
guys.
see those TikTok videos of the girls dancing at the pump, talking about the price of gas went up so high. I gotta sell pictures of feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
You see the car wash challenge one where it's like the car wash prank on your boyfriend where you go through the car wash and you roll down the passenger window
no.
and he like freaks out and he jumps in the back seat. I did that to Mia the other day. She
No.
got so wet. It was so funny.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh my god. Well, it was coming, huh?
I would.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
My car could use a wash.
Inside and out, my car needed it, so I was just like, whatever.
We have the construction going on. My car is just a dust ball rolling around.
Yeah.
I had my Charger washed at the car wash, 3 days before they started tearing up my damn street and jackhammering and doing all kinds of crazy shit because they're going to re-asphalt our road.
See, I go to
Repainted
that
it.
one car wash and it's like under $30 a month, and I get one car wash a day, regardless.
I'm not supposed to get that many because I've got that
I mean, everybody's
ceramic coat.
everybody's got it, but I'd rather have a clean car. And I don't plan on keeping my car for 20 years. So
It's also a touch car wash.
Oh, I
yeah,
can't.
barely. I closed one of the things in the window though when I rolled it down on Mia, and she's like, roll it up. I rolled it up, and then one of the phalange things was in the car.
Phalange.
I don't know what it was. And it was in the car window, just like flapping in her face like an octopus.
Oh my gosh, you could pull the whole thing down.
Well, I ripped off the thing, and then I'm like, Mia, get it out. So I rolled down the window. She's like trying to poke at it, but then the brush kept going past her and spraying her. And oh my god, it was the greatest. I've never laughed so hard before in my life. It was the best.
Yeah.
And I asked Mia if she wanted to go back to the car wash. She said no.
Yeah, Mia's got, she's got, let's see, how can I explain it? She goes home where it's like vanilla ice cream.
Well, it goes to her dad's house.
Yeah. When she comes by you, it's like fiesta night at the Mexican restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's got to go back home to Vanillaville, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, she has
Have to.
choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know she has choices.
She has choices.
She's just too kind-hearted and doesn't want to hurt people.
Yeah.
I say, fuck you feelings, I'm going by my mama, you know?
Yeah. She's done that a couple times.
Yeah, but she's too soft-hearted and caves in.
She's too much of a people pleaser.
Yeah,
For the
Far
wrong
too-
people.
Yeah. And
exactly.
that's the only thing you got to do over at my house to people please is clean up your own dishes and bring your laundry done when it needs to be done. Make sure your room's picked up. I even went and bought her a locking doorknob for the door so that the little ones stay out of her room. And
Good. Yeah, that's my firstborn granddaughter. The light of my life, my Mia Bella. Of course, she's been pretty dim for a light lately. She's like closed off. And when she talks real quiet.
Mhm.
You can tell how it is over there at Mikey's house. You
She's
know?
like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't get her to shut up.
Oh my God. After her appointment yesterday, she made my brain hurt. She made my brain hurt a lot. She was going a million miles an hour. And she wasn't soft-spoken at all. She was
Well, just look at
talking.
all the times we go through a drive-through restaurant, right? So we're in the drive-through line, and I'm like, Mia, what do you want?
Because
Like, what?
She's embarrassed about asking for stuff.
She doesn't even like
people
asking-
spending money.
She doesn't
on
even
her.
like asking me, like,
Does she
Go to
not know
McDonald's.
who
Yeah.
her granny is?
Doesn't matter if she's made to feel a certain way about money being spent on her.
Yeah.
Even food.
even I'll offer, like, okay, what do you want from McDonald's? Well, can I just get a McChicken? What do you want, Mia? Like, I know you're gonna eat more than a McChicken.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Haley does that too. Drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, okay, what do you want from McDonald's? Nothing. I'm good. I'm like, no, I didn't ask you if you're good. I asked what the hell you want to eat. And she's like, oh, can I just get a French fry? I'm like, one single French fry?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, come on. What do you want? No, I'm good. All I need is French fries.
But now Haley's like, Mom, and we'll go like driving with her to run errands, whatever. She will not let us not get food.
Yeah.
Well, that's because she wants to eat.
No, she'll
Really
get
good.
she'll
She'll get food regardless.
she'll get food. She ever since she was watching what she eats, she doesn't eat fast food much anymore.
Mm.
But yeah,
Um,
she'll make us
Remind me about that because I want to talk about sugar when we come back from what I'm about to talk about. I remember her growing up as a teenager the whole time she was in high school. Like, I didn't like driving through the drive-throughs because I hate talking to a box. You know, oh, can I get this, and this? And they screw it up anyways. So I'm like, no, Haley, go in, take one of the kids with you, get all these things. I don't want to go in. I don't want to talk to people.
still like that.
My God, do you not know who raised you? I have been a talker since I was like 14
I mean,
months
but either
old.
drive through or going in, they're gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
Regardless of where you go.
Yeah, but at least if you walk in, you can
Haley
open
don't
the
check
bag.
the bag. Haley don't check the bag.
Oh, I will rip the shit out of the bag and count everything up and be like, no, I asked for this, this, and this.
I usually hand Essie the bag. She checks it as I'm pulling around the drive-through. Worst
Yep.
case scenario, I pull back around.
Or I pull into a parking spot and I go into the building.
Nothing irks me more in life than having to go around the second time.
I haven't had
Well,
to.
going around the third time.
Yeah. I know Mia would do that. We went to the mall at one time and we were getting Rocky Cocos. And Mia was gonna buy her own food. I'm like, okay, if you wanna buy your own food, go ham.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you order for me? Well, I'm gonna eat it too then.
Yeah.
She's afraid of people too, yeah.
Yep.
Why? I don't understand that.
It's not my favorite thing in the world to talk to people, but I know it has to be done.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. I know I have to talk to strangers.
Haley and Dante are the only two of my kids that have a problem speaking up. Vinny?
Yes.
Oh, hell no. Vinny
Not when
takes-
it comes to our family, he doesn't have a problem speaking up. When it comes to being out in the public, he is the cowardly
He
lion.
has to sit in the car for a half hour talking himself up
Into
to go
going to
into
the store.
Walmart. And if the parking lot starts getting a little too full, he'll leave and go home.
Oh my God.
He has such public anxiety that he cannot function as a normal adult.
I drive my kids and dad crazy because no matter where I go, I strike up a conversation with somebody. Somebody is going to talk to me today, even if it's like I'm walking through and I go, oh my God, your hair is so beautiful, and they're like, oh, thank you. Like nobody's ever complimented them or who's this crazy lady, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I talk to people. I'm not afraid to talk to people.
I mean, there's some times where I'm just like, I'm not in a people mood. So I'm just gonna go do what I gotta do and keep everything to a
That's a
minimum.
different story. We all get in those moods where, go ahead, spin the wheel, bitch.
So it's
You
like,
know?
if I have a bad day at school, I leave school, I don't let that mood follow me.
Try to keep
It's like,
it
I'm
there.
glad I'm out of school now.
Yeah.
I'm not there anymore. I'm in a better mood now.
Yeah.
Work, same situation.
I think for me, it's like I go to the store by myself to just get a few minutes of quiet.
No, you don't. You call me.
I do.
Or me.
Okay, I go to the store to have adult conversations without somebody screaming that they want a snack or they have to go potty or they
Yeah, I know.
fell or
Who
they
knew?
did this or did that, whatever. So I'll call mom or Mason or somebody like while I'm at the store, like, okay, I can actually have a conversation now.
Without having, you sound like you have Tourette's when I talk to you on the phone.
For sure.
Because how many toddlers do you have walking around that you're cussing and yelling?
Well, I've got right now it's a 7-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 17-month-old at home.
So I'm talking to her today, and she's trying to tell me about the cat situation that you saw in your house. And she's like, so I'm sitting there, and I see this cat. Get down! And then she's like, and it's like walking, and I see it.
I'm
And
cooking
don't
your food,
eat that! I'm locking you in the basement. I'm like,
And at the
Jesus.
point I had it. And I'm like, well, I was talking because I was just in a mood today. And you're like, why? And I'm like, well, this is going on and this is going on. I'm cooking your food. It's not freaking McDonald's. You get what you get. Because he didn't want a hot dog. He
Maverick
wanted fish. And I
So
don't have
he's
any
like,
fish.
I want fish. She's like, we don't have fish. Yes, we do. No, it's all gone. Do you want a hot dog? No. And then she's like, fine. Then you go hungry.
And then he goes, yes, please.
Like the little boy off of,
Yeah.
Tiny Tim. That's his name.
Okay, so I'm cooking noodles, I'm cooking pizza bites, I'm cooking hot dogs, and I'm like, ugh. And then the dog's just looking at me like, well, I could eat. Oh my god.
And then Tanner comes home. I could eat.
Yeah. No, he knows better.
Yeah, talking to you is like talking to someone with Tourette's.
Uh-huh.
I call Haley on lunch.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Anyways, we've been on here for almost an hour and a half, so we should probably let our listeners go. And they're probably all sitting there with guns to their heads right now, going, "Oh, geez, I'm just gonna off myself if they keep talking." But, anyways, I don't know. This weekend we're probably not gonna have a Supernatural Sunday because, like I said, Missy's gonna be in Minnesota. So join us next Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Ish. Yeah. I'm waiting. I'm always on time waiting. I'm waiting for everybody else. But yeah, we'll try to come up with better conversation next week. Unless we do sneak off to a cemetery during the week, then we can pop some videos on Facebook. If you haven't checked out our videos from the Oconomowoc trip and the attempted Oconomowoc trip, be sure to check them out on my Facebook page. I think there's 11 videos, something like that, plus pictures and stuff. So check it out. Drop me a message or, email me at nikkiluciano@yahoo.com. Until then, take care of each other, be nice to each other, and try to have a blessed night.